hermano, me van a deportar, no me van a dejar, ayúdame. Hermano, ayúdame, me van a deportar, me van a deportar, mi hermano.
Siéntate.
Hermano, me van a deportar.
Vamos.
No me hagas esto.
Señor, por favor.
Amigo, no me hagas esto, me van a deportar. Ayúdame.
One thing I've been noticing a lot lately is videos of immigrants, especially people who were deported from the United States, sharing their stories about what life was like after they had to leave, after they were deported, literally. And honestly, a lot of those stories are not pleasant to hear. Some of them are really, really tough. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Before we go any further, this video is for educational and awareness purposes. It's me simply sharing what people are saying online or what's trending online and adding my commentary. I've been able to gather clips from different creators, credits to all of them. Alright, with that said, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's roll the clips and I'll be back to share my thoughts.
He's okay, just get out. It's no big deal. He's okay. He's okay. You're alright. Get out. He's not going anywhere. Come to open the door back there.
Homeland Security investigation agents say they'd been conducting surveillance on Wilson as he had previously been deported in May 2023 but re-entered the United States, which made the charge against him federal illegal re-entry. But now, not just him, but all three occupants were about to be confronted.
If you just got deported, don't expect to have the same amenities you had in the US, my boy. First off, no hot water out here. Ain't no left hot, right cold. The water is either gonna be normal, cold, or freezing cold. It's like you gotta water the water, bro. El agua se mira bien marchitada. That's the best water pressure you're gonna get. And there's times, most places in El Salvador only get water like 4 to 5 hours per day. So you know what you gotta do? Te agarras una paila, papá. After a week, you'll be clean, traumatized, y pije salvadoreño.
Girl, this the kitchen right here where people cook. You probably can't see it good. It's the kitchen, girl. And girl, let me show you the bathroom. This where you take a shower at. And let me show you where you use the bathroom at. You see that hole? Okay. Now, this where this young lady and her son, she pregnant. She let me stay until I can get out of here or get on my feet. Look. Girl, look, this her son. We all sleep on one bed. Life is hard up here, girl. This shit is crazy.
I'm gonna try to make this video real quick, bro. Hopefully help somebody out. If you got deported just like me and you didn't invest in your country, bro, more than likely you're gonna be working in a call center, right? Which is the worst. But anyways, like, that's what it is, bro. That's the only type of job you're gonna be able to have if you want to win like a little bit more money. You know what I mean? So here where I'm at, bro, in El Salvador, call centers are stressful, bro. You're gonna be working 10 hours a day, every day for 5 days straight out the week. And you're gonna be making anywhere from $600 to $800 a month. Yeah, bro, like a month. Not every week, not every 2 weeks, like a month. You're gonna be making $600 to $800 a month. And not only that, bro, the management, they're a little bit pushy.
And this is what people on the left and the Democrats don't understand that they're doing when they, bring these illegal aliens in. And eventually when somebody like Trump comes in and kicks them all out and, and does interior enforcement, which no other president has ever done really, to this extent, they come in and then all of a sudden these families are ruined. And listen, I do feel sorry for these people, right? But yeah, this is what's happening, and the Democratic Party don't understand that they're hurting this very people that they claim that they're trying to help. Bring all these people in, illegally, and having them, overstaying their visa, right? And you're not getting them out of the country, right? This is what happens 20 something years down the line. And a lot of people don't understand it. This is why, another point of mine is like, a lot of people don't understand the privilege that they have to live in this country. Is it perfect? No, right? Are there things that, are Americans suffering all over the place? Yes, absolutely. But the type of life that you live here is nothing compared to like, a third world country.
People think like, oh, why you get locked up? Why you get deported? For driving without a license. And to be honest, I was on my way to work and I was going fast and then the police clocked me and then I got pulled over and then started asking me about immigration and all that. I don't have a social or anything like that. And so he took me into custody, right? And once he took me into custody, I did like 5 days and I was happy because I was about to get out. And then before I got out, he's like, hey, hold on. Go into this office. And I go in that office and this ICE, and ICE is immigration.
So they released you into ICE
custody. But if I was, American or if I had a social, I would have been, regular. Just 5 days and I would have been out. But no, they put me in ICE custody and then they just started asking me where I came in and everything. And then, to be honest, my baby mama, my baby mama took me out of jail, $5,000. And then they took me out. And then after that, I was out, right, fighting my case. Then I signed a voluntary departure, which is for me to get out the country. They gave me a specific date, and I ended up staying like that.
I usually don't do this. It's not me to really put my business out there on social media or just talk about my life, my private life. But I feel like this time I should, because there's so much going on in this world nowadays. So on November 4th, 2024, I was coming back from Mexico. I had gone to visit some friends and I was crossing back through the bridge legally. I have been a resident for 19 years. And I actually was raised in Texas my entire life. My parents brought me and my brothers, my siblings, to United States when I was 3. And November 4th, I was detained by Homeland Security at the border, and I was never released. I actually just got out from the detention center I was held in Port Isabel, in Texas. I sat there for about 179 days, approximately, and I got deported. I can't really answer why they detained me. It took about 2 months for them to give me any paperwork telling me why I got detained, why I was getting threatened to get deported, etc. I went through several lawyers because the first 2, I paid a couple of $100, and they took my money, and I never heard from them again. But after my family helped me get a hold of a good lawyer, I fought and ICE and Homeland Security never bent. They told me I wasn't eligible to be in that country anymore, when I've never had any felonies, I've never hurt nobody, I've never been to prison, and all I've done was work my entire life. Since I was 17, I worked, never stopped, not a single day. I worked as a blue-collar boy. Once I hit the age of 19, I was eligible to work, and I started working and paying taxes, and I had children. I have 4 children from the age of 18 all the way down to 1, and I lost my children. Lucky for me, I still get to talk to them and communicate with them, but I can no longer see my children, at least till they're able to come to Mexico. I don't know how this could have happened. Of course, the administrations that run the United States now are no good. They say so much about wanting to make it a safer country and getting rid of criminals and killers and, you know, people that break the law heavily. And in the 6 months I was detained, I met so many guys that were detained and being threatened and that got deported just because we were not U.S. citizens or born citizens in the United States. I didn't see very many criminals go through that detention center at all. A lot of innocent people, a lot of good men, kids, because there was a lot of kids there from 18 and up, all the way to their 60s, 70s. And I'm blessed to have family, to have my back, but I lost what I love dearly the most. It's my kids, my lifestyle, my family. So yeah, that's what's going on.
If I'm in Costa Rica, the people don't make that much money here. For like low-key jobs here, people can make as little as $3 an hour. Imagine that. $5 an hour, $10 an hour. So when I'm looking at rent here is extremely cheap. I'm currently renting a place because I'm currently tearing down my old off-grid cabin to build a new house on my property, but I'm renting a house in the meantime, and it's only $300 a month. Very cheap. Now, that's not including internet, but that does include water and electricity. Extremely cheap. So it's cheap to us based on our American income, based on comparing it to the United States. But for the local people, you know, these things are expensive, or some things are expensive to the local people.
When we first migrated to the United States 28 years ago, I was only 5 years old, and I do remember a lot of these things still being the same. I remember us not having access to a restroom and having to shower outside with buckets of water. I think I spent so many years of my life thinking that I would never be back home. And now that I'm here, it does make me sad to see that if I want to give my kids a future here, I have to start from scratch with literally nothing. And although I did make the decision to go to a bigger city, it does make me sad to see that these places just get abandoned like this. I hope this is a good reminder for the people that are in the United States that are undocumented, to let them know that you still have a place back home. And you should always have a plan B. You don't want to be left in a situation like I am, where I literally have nothing and I have to start from scratch. I've had a very humbling experience living here for the last 4 months, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. But honestly, I'm having a hard time adjusting to life in the pueblo. And I've mentioned to you guys before that the income here is very minimal. And before I end this video, I want to give you a reminder to please be grateful for what you have, because many have less.
Life of a lash artist from Dallas, Texas, who got deported after being in the U.S. for 28 years. When I was a little girl, I was 2 years old, and my parents took me illegally to the United States, which my parents were illegal too, and all of my siblings were U.S. citizens, but they were not the age of 21 and older. I was processed by ICE because I did not have a license and I did not have a social, so they allowed me to continue to fight my case in the U.S. So I fought my case, but in 2019 they decided, from 2013 to 2019, they decided, and the court decided, that I needed a voluntary departure because I did not hold any of these things, right? So when I went to court, my case was closed, and when I went to go report, because I was out on recognition since 2013, they basically told me that I would be eligible of a petition since I was married to a U.S. citizen. I had already gotten married, but the lawyer that I had at the time gave me bad legal advice and told me to just return to my country and find a job and make a living here. After I left court, I went to go report, which is something that you have to do when you are trying to apply for your residency or just trying to stay in the States, period. So I showed up, and the judge who had been before me my entire time going to court told me that that lawyer had given me bad legal advice and for me to get a new lawyer. So I ended up finding a new lawyer, and he petitioned for me. My husband is the one that is a U.S. citizen, so I filed a petition and I filed a cancellation of deportation, which was supposed to cancel the deportation. But with everything happening with Trump right now, there's no way for them to cancel the deportation because it was already there. That is the reason why I'm in this position in the first place. My parents never had the money to fix papers for me, so this is why I'm in this position. I also never applied for DACA because my parents didn't have the money, and they didn't have the money to even fix papers for themselves. We always had really poor jobs and really sucky jobs just to make a living. It just wasn't possible, and I hope people could just understand that.
Good morning. My name is Joanne. I'm 47 years old. At 5 years old was the last time I was in Haiti. I've lived in U.S. all my life. I was forced to be living back in Haiti due to deportation. My life here is not stable, is uncivilized. I'm seeking the community's support and help to relocate to a better place where I can find work, housing, and the basics of life. Anyone that can help me, it would be gladly appreciated. Since being in Haiti, I've suffered from depression and PTSD. I was raped on the first week I got here. There's no security, there's no law, there's no police, there's no government that can help me to be safe. My only way out is if I leave. So please, if anyone out there is hearing this, help me to relocate. Thank you.
This lady got deported back to Haiti after living in the United States for 42 years. And this is what her living conditions look like. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I kind of feel bad for her, but I know what y'all thinking, like, okay, well, she didn't do what she needed to do to get her citizenship, blah, blah, blah. But if she's been living here since she was 5 years old, she probably had no idea that she was supposed to do anything as far as becoming an actual citizen. I mean, that's a hell of a wake-up call, but I feel like this should also be a wake-up call to anybody who's actually from Haiti or anywhere in the Caribbean or anywhere around the world that looks similar to that, or where there's a good portion of their society that has to live that way. I feel like this should be a wake-up call for them, because this should show you that your people and your country of origin really needs help. It really needs some type of stability. Like she said, it's completely lawless out there. Like she said, she got raped her first week back. She said that there's like no government. People just run rampant. It's like hard to find food. Like there's no jobs. Like this should be a wake up call for people who are actually from Haiti, like, or any country that looks like that, because y'all flee, y'all come, y'all go here, there, and everywhere, but then you leave behind your country of origin. And I understand, like, and it's like, it's funny to me, because it's not funny, but it's like, it's interesting to me because one of the jabs that they throw at Black America is, well, at least I have a home to go back to. But most of the people who say that, home looks just like what she showed us. So, I mean, that's not even a home that you even want to go back to. And I'm not saying that to be a bitch, but what I am saying is that it's going to take a lot of like strategic planning in order to get that country back on its feet, or to get it to be basically habitable at all. They need to flatten out everything there needs to just be flattened out, and they need to start from scratch. I don't even know if they're even going to be able to rebuild Haiti without some sort of foreign intervention or some sort of foreign alliance like that. Y'all, at this point, Haitians are going to have to form an alliance with another nation in order to fix that. They don't have the manpower to fix that. Otherwise, it's basically going to turn into a no man's land, because everybody's trying to leave. And Haiti has the potential to be a beautiful place, but if everybody leaves and nobody comes back to try to fix anything, it's just dead land. I really do feel bad for her. Like, I feel bad for anybody who has to go back to that situation, because I can't even imagine it. I can't imagine that. But this should be a wake up call. Like, your country needs help, and somebody that's from there needs to be the start of getting it to where it needs to be.
Now, listen and listen attentively. If you're living in someone else's country, especially a country that gave you an opportunity, there has to be a level of humility. I can't stress this point enough. There has to be respect. You have to be grateful. More importantly, you have to be law abiding because at the end of the day, it's not your country, okay? You are a guest. You are a guest at the end of the day. Another thing that honestly confuses me, I don't know if it's just me, but is the fact that when you hear about people who stayed in a country for like 10, 20, 30 years without legal papers, I always ask myself, like, how does that even happen? Like, what really went wrong along the way? Was it the cost of the process? Was it fear? Was it, delays in the system? I honestly don't know. Maybe someone watching this who understands that situation better can explain in the comment section because it's something I've always wondered. Anyway, moving on, there's this other issue I've been seeing online. Some immigrants, go abroad with a clear sense to work hard, and build something, create a better future, right? Literally, they are in search of greener pastures. But somewhere along the line, some people they lose focus, and instead of concentrating on why they came in the first place, they get caught up in unnecessary conflicts, distractions, and sometimes even rivalry, especially with Black Americans who made it even possible for them to be in the US in the first place. I don't get it. Anyway, my advice is this: if you're in a foreign land, stay focused. Don't get too comfortable or think that being welcome means you own the country, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter how long you've been there, that country might one day wake up and decide that they don't want you anymore. Also, immigrants, I know how hard life is in the US, but please, no matter how many bills you have, try to build a savings culture, even if it's small, save something because if things ever change and you have to go home suddenly, at least you won't be starting from absolutely nothing. Okay. And lastly, I want to stress this: integrating, being respectful, and being law abiding isn't fear. Okay, isn't timidity or low self esteem. It's about being smart. It's about, giving yourself the best chance to live the life you came to build. So remain focused, okay, and do the right thing. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.